Hello guys and welcome to episode 17 of my Ymir multiplayer series. This is carrying on straight from episode 16. You might be watching this 2 days later, 4 days later, whatever. You might have forgot what happened last episode. I'll quickly summarise. It is me looking at currency, we're talking about the price changes and all of that. We're talking about me upgrading more houses, getting the new hamlet, and then the text that came out. So if you haven't seen that episode, go give it a watch because I'm going to probably reference to a little bit with certain stuff. For example, let's get cloves. So that's the first thing I wanted to do. That is unlock cloves. We already actually have cloves in our inventory, so we can just unlock them straight away. But I looked on the market. Actually, I think it's only one of the few things available to buy that is actually in stock. Because cloves is very, very common, because it's one of the main sources that every territory can use. Whereas, for example, I don't know, grapes are specific to Mediterranean. So yes, anyone could buy the grapes. You can only produce grapes in the Mediterranean biome, I believe. Mediterranean and maybe continental. Whereas cloves, every single biome can produce cloves. Different ways. For example, Nordic use wool. Continental will use cotton. Arid will use flax. But they all still make textiles, and then the textiles also make cloves. So cloves is a safer one. It's why it's usually got big business on the market. We can see here, business isn't that big. Like, there's a lot of buying, but actually not that much selling. So let's hope that these people selling it have enough in stock to supply me. Big, barren bacon. Let's go. So recurring order. We've got 5 trading service left, so I can play around with the price a little bit, but I'm going to buy it. Play it simple. Selling at 3.5. Let's buy it in at 3.5 because that is actually the lowest selling. So if we go any lower, we're not going to get any sales. So let's say just when stocks are lower than 40, buy in 10 at 3.5. So that way we always have a nice buffer stock that if for whatever reason they stop supplying clothes because there's so much demand, we at least have a little bit of time with 40 in stock to, you know, sell it before we just run out completely. But buying a little bit of that in, I'm only going to assign one merchant. Again, like I referenced in the last episode, restricting supply will mean that the price is pushed up. And because this is a luxury good, really, the only critical goods is food stuff. They're the ones that give you that massive growth increase by increasing the health. The other goods in the game don't increase your health, they just increase your life quality. So it's not like I'm losing out majorly by not supplying it in big numbers. So we set that to, oh, we can't supply it, I haven't put the sip point in. So cloves, adopt this trait, brilliant. That's 1 sip point. Yep, let's see how much money we make. We might even not make that much money. Like, let's see what the price is. Using the 4, see what it is, because obviously everyone in the city's gonna want it. So we've got a demand of 17 at a price of 3.8. Ideally we want 20. We're going to supply 8, so we're going to have massive supply and demand pressure. So let's wait and see what it rises to. In the meantime, we're waiting for that. With all the axes that we've got, let's just upgrade some of our houses. We've got loads and loads of mud bricks in stock from when previously I've just been pumping out mud bricks. In the meantime, I actually have shut down that industry. I switched it all over to copper, so they're closed. Because actually, I did the calculations again, my trusty calculator and whiteboard, and I've seen that with Hammond producing them at 2.8 consistently, that's a what would that be? 1.6 cost is costing us, because they are people 1.2 to buy the mud bricks off them. So by buying them off Hammond, it's costing us 1.6. But actually, the amount of job you need, all the mud miners, all the brick workers, it's a lot, and I feel it's actually just more profitable just to have our copper workers working, or some copper smelters going on, and then just using up our stock. And then if we run out of mud bricks, we run out, and I can just buy the rest in at a pretty good price. Axe is our main limiting factor. We've got loads of stone stocked up from the Stone Age, funnily enough. We've got loads of wood that we produce ourselves and that we're buying in, so we've got plenty of wood. So it's just the axes. But now with me producing them myself, at least I have a nice consistent supply. But yeah, look at the demand. We're about to go into the Bronze Age. And this, like, I kid you not, a day ago, I was the only person on the market buying them at 15. I was consistently getting sales. Look at 15, 15. this is from 3 days ago, but then the last day, 15.5, 16. It was me and someone else, and now all these people just shot out of nowhere. There's massive demand for axes, so I think it's right cool to actually start producing them myself, because it would save us a lot of money, and it actually guarantees that we will get some axes, because if we look, that's only got 12 at 20. The last of these houses are great. I don't want to spend all my axes if I knew I was going to get some new buildings in, but I know I'm not going to get any new buildings in because I've got all my axe buildings in. I've got my taverns in that I want. All those other buildings, I've already got 5 axes spare in Rocktown, so if I need any axe buildings there, I'll be fine. It's they're supplying 8. So it's actually not mega profits. It's only going to 4.4. If we buy it in at 3.9, we're only making 0.9 profit per clothes. At the same time, that is still huge. Every item we buy in, we're buying in 8 items, we're making, let's say 1 coin, so we're making 8 coins profit per tick from this guy selling them, and it's costing us 1 worker. And then on top of that, we get, if we think, I don't even know what the demand was 20, we're supplying 8, so we're getting over a third of our population is supplied, so that will then be a big boost to the clothing access for most people. But clothing is only secondary, so we only get the 2 life qualities, we don't get 3 like it is for alcohol. Still, for 1 civ point, really good, so I'm really happy with that. And we're now to grow a little bit more. If we look at our capital, 11 more jobless, 38 more next generation growth, so our capital's still growing. We've got a nice buffer of loyalty. Conflict is going up a little bit now because of our population growth going so high, but that's not a major issue at all, actually. And as we continue to upgrade all our houses, it's going to be a huge life quality increase. Look, these houses are 5 and 6. These are 12 and 10. So while the health is more important for growth, that life quality bonus, if we then go to our state culture, raw culture production from the life quality, we're now making almost 400 culture, or not 400 culture, but the 400 XP needed to unlock the culture levels. So we've almost doubled it since even just like about 4 or 5 episodes ago, where we're only making about 200. So we're getting civ points in a lot quicker. And we can continue to invest these civ points either in cultural customs to get some more consumptions, or in our cultural skills. But I'm actually not sure what to do here. I'm thinking we could get a leather clothes. Look how many leather clothes workers we've got. Absolutely tons. These ones down here are closed, but absolutely tons. And just getting that extra leather clothes civ point. It's just glitched there. I actually know what. Oh, forgot about that. How did I even forget that's a feature? I'm such an idiot. So, when you supply the same demand, like again with another product, it splits the demand between them. So where we need 20 leather clothes, because we're now supplying 2 types of clothing, we only need 10 of each. We still get the same massive life quality bonus. So it doesn't mean you still only get 2 life quality bonus. You'll get 4 life quality bonus if you supply both. But it means that you only need half of one. Because, and again, that's why that went from 20 to now it's only gone down to 10. Because I'm a bit confused. I noticed that earlier. It's actually now gone down to 10. And the leather clothes have gone down to 10. So what I'm doing here is actually quite fascinating. This is something to think about. This is actually just giving me an idea. I told you earlier that if you supply more than you demand, you get a decrease in the price. That's quite simple. If you supply less than demanded, and again, demand is the actual demand, not ideal demand. So because we're supplying because this is what level we're supplying before. I was supplying 20. Now we only need 10. We're getting a massive price cut. This price cut drives our price down, the price down to 2.2. It will also drive the wholesale price down massively again. So even though we're supplying the same amount, my wholesale price will probably drop to about 1.8, 1.7. That actually means we can start competing on price again to sell more. Obviously, you could say, well, why don't you just supply just 10 and the price will go back up to 3.5. That is true, and we'll get an abundance of clothes. But I don't know what's more profitable because currently we are still getting consistent at 3, but not enough that like I'm at 77 now. Actually, no, because he just bought 40 cloves. I'll have a think. What I think I'll do is I'll take this guy off. So we'll take off the 4 because I don't want to have a whole merchant who's not doing anything. So we'll take him off and then also freeze up a merchant slot. Then we'll still oversupply. So that gives us 4 more cloves. So we actually then can sell more. And it will still drive the price down, so we get a lower wholesale price just by not as much. Yeah, now to 2.7. So that's actually really, really interesting. So by selling cloves as extra, yes, we're making a small profit on the cloves. Even smaller now, it's only 4.1. But we're actually making more cloves because I've stopped supplying 4. But we're still oversupplying to drive down that price. So now our wholesale price will go down. You sell more on the market. So that's very interesting. That's something that I thought I've learned because I did know about this. It didn't cross my mind to even do it. So it is something new to think about. So there you go. We're both learning at the same time. That is the clove situation done. So actually, saying that, we could do that with others. I know we can't find any. There isn't any cider or wine available. We could do the same with the alcohol source by getting a second one in, and then it splits the demand. But I would say that's worse because beer, we've got so cheap at 1.9 coins that I kind of want to supply it. Such a big number because we can't actually supply really any more because it demands at 16, whereas 24 is demanded, but we can't really up the demand because we probably won't get the price low enough to get new demand in. But if we were to split it, buying another alcohol source that's more, we wouldn't get as many beer sales, and the beer sales are so efficient. Basically, I'm probably going to stick with just beer for now. Cloves, that was a very good one to learn about. What I've also done is stop playing the game like a North Korea. I've always played Ymir. It's self-sufficient, which to me was good. I got well-paying jobs, you see here, good-paying jobs with good wealth. I was self-sufficient if there was a war because I produced all my own stuff. The problem with that, though, is you never specialise, and you don't make use of other people specialising. So, to show that as an example, I've halved my pottery production. I've got rid of these 3 pottery workers. So we're now in a massive pottery deficit. Where is pottery? Here it is. Minus 11. Well, it was. Again, there's massive supply and demand. I don't want to say issues, but there's a lot of supply. That's right, a lot of demand, maybe not as much supply. But I'm buying in all my pottery at 2 coins. I sell it for 2.9 coins. Well, actually now 3 coins. Make a profit of 1 coin per pottery I sell. So why would I want to have 2 workers on it? Using up the clay, which I'm running out of. Using up charcoal, which, again, I'm not producing a great amount of. When I can actually just import it in and make a profit. I've dumped the workers. In fact, I could probably dump all of the workers if there was enough pottery in the market, but there isn't. But that's an example of no longer being self-sufficient, moving into this free trade style of economic play where you're just cutting off your own industries, which you don't specialise in. We specialise in copper ore, leather, and meat. So that's the products I'm making a lot of. Everything else, buy in. Again, that is if the market allows it, and in this case, like I just showed pottery, you maybe don't have enough pottery on the market to fully commit to buying it in. But we've halved the amount of work we're doing there, so that's great. Everything I can do here in Castell, though, for the moment. We've got no more axes. Actually, no, I have one more. Somewhere in this building. We've got no more axes. We've got our cloves being sold here. The trade for leather cloves should just go up a lot, because now we're getting more in, so I'll hit this 2.91, but I can also, if I absolutely need to, lower my prices to maybe 2.7. I'll have to wait and see, though. Let's come out of here. Let's have a look at some of the other places. So let's first look at Humid, which is one that's still lagging behind a bit. Again, because of me, I saw this and I didn't do anything about it. Do we buy in lettuce? I don't think we do. Let's have a quick look. So here's Humid. I've got a second copper mine. So at first I said I wasn't going to get any more copper mines. Then when I realised how much money I was making off my copper, I have actually got a copper mine, which is now good because I'm got my extra SIG points in it. So let's actually trade this last little bit of copper to Castell. I've then got a cattle farm, and I'm going to get another cattle farm when I fully produce from this one. What the problem is here, though, is we've obviously not got enough meat on the market. so it's actually run out of meat. But I've got a lettuce trader here, but for some dumb reason I haven't actually told them to buy any lettuce in. So let's buy some lettuce in. Say recurring order. Stocks inferior at 2, let's say 10. We'll buy amount in for 3.5. If you read here, this is something really, really useful to know for Ymir. The buyer gets priority, which I do find quite strange. But what that means is, if I say buy 10 for 100 coins, if there is sellers on the market who's selling below 100 coins, I will buy at their price before. So this is the max price, this is what it says, limit price. The max you'll spend is 100 coins, but if there's anything cheaper, as it says here, if sellers are offering available at a lower price, they will be filled in with priority, generating more income than predicted because you're actually buying at a lower price. So this is your max price. So it's not the price you are buying at, it's the price, the most expensive items you're prepared to buy at. So let's say 3.5, but we'll still buy at 2.5. Let's just double check. Not trading services. Why is that then? Let's state by you. That's probably why. I think that's actually what happened. I was buying lettuce and I was buying meat, but my trading services has been cut out. And just, yeah, that's actually why. Okay, so let's wait a sec for state back production to kick in so I can actually get some trading service here. Okay, so here we go. 4 trading. So now I can get there. So that's why actually I had bought lettuce before. It's just because the issues with the trading had actually kicked off. So recurring, my stocks are inferior to 10. We buy 10, 3.5. But let's just double check what I said is correct. Where we're saying 3.5, but it should buy it at 2.5. Here we go. Yeah, 25 coins spent, even though we're asking at 3.5. So what that means is, guys, is if you're the seller, you will always sell to match the buyer's order. So if you sell at 3.5, sorry. You always sell at your price, even if the buyer's price is way better. So let's say there's a buyer right here, and he's saying he'll give you 100 coins. Unless you specify that your selling price is 100 coins, if your automatic price rises up and you're selling for 10 coins instead of 100 coins, you will sell for 10 coins. The buyer price beats your price. You only match the buyer's price when you specifically set that as your price, if that makes sense. So again, you can see here, there's these ones rising for 2.5 coins. Yeah, I was saying there's these ones for 2.5 coins. Even if we come in with a buy order for 3.5 coins, we'll always buy at 2.5 coins. Basically, when you're selling, you are limited to the price you set it at. That is the price you sell. Whereas buying, you just get picked the lowest selling price. So sort of buyers win in a weird sort of way. But because you're always buying and selling at different products, everybody sort of balances out. Unless your whole economy is just exporting, in which case that's a little bit unfair. But it's not mega unfair. We've now got meat coming in here. Or sorry, lettuce. Let's do a bit of meat. So we've got recurring order. I'm going to set it to 2.7. So it either buys at these cheap prices, or it just buys at my price of 2.7. If you click show all territories, you can see that, yeah, I was still selling comfortably at 2.7. So even my high prices of 2.7 are still getting picked up. But we'll do it anyway. Recurring order, when it's option rate at 10, limit price of 2.7. Now, I believe I spoke in previous episodes, not the previous episode, but previous episodes before that, about internal orders, about how they're annoying, where if you set an internal order, it will only sell or buy to other strictly internal orders. Even if you've got your own orders on the market, it won't buy them unless it's an internal order, if you've said it as an internal order. I've actually decided in this playthrough, I'm not even going to bother with internal orders. It costs way too much trading service to use efficiently. And actually, if I want to buy something, I'd actually rather buy it from someone else at a cheaper price if they're offering a cheaper price than what I'm selling at. Because if that's the case, and I find that, let's say with meat, everywhere else is selling it for 1.1 coins, I'd rather buy their 1.1 coins of meat and then just lower my own meat production and put it into a more efficient job. At the end of the day, it's about being more and more efficient, isn't it? Talk about meat, setting the prices. I think our price is actually the best because even though it's way more expensive, it's the one that keeps selling to my other territories. So, gosh, 2.7. And that is Humid done. There's not much more we can really do here. We've actually got more wood this time. I think the last time I had to stop was because we were running out of wood. We look now, we should have enough wood, and we can go here. There we go. So still at 53%. To be honest with you, I don't actually fully need. I've already got maxed out there. That's great. There we go. We don't actually need these buffalo because I'm not butchering anymore. These are purely just going to be stocked up. But then when we do get those level 2, we just need copper, by the way. We just need the 15 copper. Well, by that, but we make them ourselves. So the 15 copper we just need, and then we can get metal casting. I'll just be stocking up all these buffalo for them. What I do need to make sure, though, is I haven't got any paddocks here. So I need to make sure all these animals are transported Castell, so they don't die. They don't die here. Let's just set this as 2 and apply that. And then finally, let's visit Rocktown. Oh, this is Rocktown. Why I like it is because it's got this whole, like, extremely high platform here, which is already walled off. It's brilliant. Look at this. We go fortifications. It's already got its own wall, technically. So I built my ladder to access it, and then all I need to do here is just build a little wall, and then there we go. I've got a brilliant base. Once I get some javelin men here or whatever, it will actually mean that any attacking army will take so much damage from my range units because of the height difference. I'll actually probably wipe out huge armies, even with a very small amount of archers or javelin men or whatever. So what I want to do is get all my houses up here, my government buildings, and then as you can see here, all my production buildings all around. I believe I've mentioned before in another episode, or maybe I haven't, maybe I'm getting confused while I was speaking with friends instead of on the YouTube videos, but in a war, every house you loses a family. That's something I learned very recently thanks to some help from experienced players. But actually, when a house gets destroyed, the house obviously gets destroyed, you lose materials, you lose the house. If there's a family living inside it, as you can see here, 1 miner, 1 sow, 6 piglets, 1 trader, 1 sow, this whole family gets wiped. So if someone attacks you and wipes out 40 houses, that's 40 working porcos plus all the sows and piglets. That's a huge dent to your population, your economy. That means less money, smaller army, harder to recover because it takes longer to build up the population again. So if they do that multiple times, it's game over for you. So your houses are actually some of the most important assets you've got. The production buildings, if they get destroyed, oh, boo-hoo, we no longer produce hammers because the production building's gone. You don't lose the porco, you just lose the production building. But if your house gets destroyed, it'll be game over. So I want to get all my houses up here, or as many as I can, with the government building, because remember the government building, if that gets sacked, that is a huge loss. You lose loads of coins. You obviously lose the government building, which is really expensive. And then you lose all the officials. So you might lose loads of state power, which means you go into crisis with the loyalty. You lose the administration, so your waste might go up to like 80% and be huge. That will cripple your economy as well. So the houses in the government building is the most important one, which is why we want to keep them safe up here. So Castell is incredibly bad. I haven't got any walls. I've got no fortifications, nothing. And I've got a very tiny militia. So if someone was to attack me, yeah, it sort of might even be game over for me. Here though, if I just got 20 javelin men with a hill this big, and just a basic palisade wall around here, I could probably fight off 80 men. Depends what the men are. If they're like bronze age, like what they called hoglites, I wouldn't. But if they're like, you know, spear pigs or shielded snouts, with 20 javelin men, 30 javelin men, I might actually be able to take on 70, 80 spear pigs, just because of the height difference. Yeah, Rocktown, I think there's actually too much we can really do here. The axes are tough at the moment with how just expensive it is. I've got an order here for 15 at 15 coins, but it's not going to be bought anytime soon. Look how much demand there is at higher prices. So we're going to really either have to bite the bullet and go for the expensive price of 20, or just wait until we can get more in Castell. So, but the problem with getting more in Castell is I need to make more copper. And by making more copper, that means less copper ore, which means my trade balance goes down quite considerably because I'm exporting less copper ore and then converting that into copper, which I'm then buying at a high price. So axes is quite expensive, but again, it's better than having to pay the really high fees currently on the market. Hey guys, I don't think there's actually much more I can do here because, well, I can get, if I get quickly, one last thing I can do is get some chickpeas here. Chickpeas. What do we need? We've got 1.7 here, 2 here. One's 2. It's probably going to get down to 1. 1. Because of how, again, like, if you've got 2 food sources of the same type, it means you need less of the other one. So we'll go down a little bit in lettuce. We won't need 2. Probably, but yeah, 1.5. So we'll put 1 chickpeas there. That's a little bit more life quality from that. Yeah, not much more I can really do here. I will wait to get more axes. I will wait to get more people. More people means I'll get more houses in. I'll actually start getting some production buildings down. Maybe, what would I get? No. Because again, I don't really want to produce my own pottery. I've got no clay here. We can't buy in clay. So actually, I don't even know what production builders I make. I think I'll just grow the city here, and I'll look on the market to see what's cheap. Maybe, for example, wood's really cheap. I could maybe try and make some charcoal, because charcoal at 2.5 isn't a bad price. We could set out little things like that. We'll see. Even if all the people are unemployed, we still make the forced labour income, so not too bad. Yeah, guys, thanks a lot for watching. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like. If you're enjoying the series as a whole, leave a subscribe. And that is all. Join the Discord, say hello. Apart from that, thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode. Ta-ra.